How many Chinese drill bits does it take to go through Chinese aluminum? A 1, a 2, 3. Okay, major accomplishment done. Look at that. It is in there. Got the screws up in there mounted in. Got my brace there. Got to tighten this down. Oh, look at that nice heater box. When this thing gets out in the sun, it's going to look amazing. Of course, you need to do a wipe down after handling it. Got my wires up in there. I can start tucking, get the steering column in. Yeah, wires in. That means I can start doing stuff on this side. Oh yeah, garage doors open because we're nice and pretty. Going to be pretty the next couple days. But yeah, that means I can get this in and start addressing everything in this area here. Shift linkage, I can start working on that. Don't think that's going to be any problem whatsoever with these headers. Of course, I could have got the starter on anyway, but yeah, that's what I got out over there. Got some stuff coming up. Oh, I got the power steering pump on and the belt on and mocked up. Looked like it's lined up good. Dirty, nasty ones I had laying around. All right, getting the car mounted up. These bolts that come with these Speedmaster poly spacers are pretty long. So they're too long, I just went ahead and cut them down. This is the stud I had in there, which is too long without a spacer. But yeah, I just kind of measured it and trimmed it down, and let's go check the fit. So I've got a 1-inch aluminum spacer on there now. And of course I did the back bolt because that's the easiest one to get to and record and everything. So that looks pretty good. I like that. I like that there. So I'm going to use that same method all the way around. Got the throttle bracket and kick down cable figured out. So I'm about to get this carburetor bolted on, and then I'll be done with that evolution right there. And then just keep pecking away at it. I got the rockers to put on. I did some stuff on the transmission, but it's like putting an O-ring on the dipstick tube. So I'm not going to bore you to death with that. Unless it leaks, then we could be exciting there. So I got that locked in, and well, now it's just kind of picking what I want to work on, you know, what's the next step. This is a major one to get out of the way while everything was off. Okay, getting it tightened down, and I ran into a little bit of an issue at the tie rods, which is not the issue. The issue was I had the brake caliper in the way, and if we look at where the ball joint goes, the brake hose goes right there. So when trying to get anything up in there, it was right in the way. So that's why I have it hung up to the side. Actually, I already did the torquing on it. But that's just something to note. That has to be out of the way, or else you can't get up in there to torque that down. And that's like, I think the book's like 100, 115, something like that, foot-pounds on that. So you got to get something pretty big on there. But yeah, coming together. I was just messing with this. I wasn't going to record it, but I saw that problem. I'm still working on my throttle bracket issue here. I kind of have two methods. Let's go over that right quick. So I'm reluctant to buy anything because that's just kind of how I was raised doing this stuff. And I'm trying to work with what I got, and it's not working very well. And I've had this setup work before, but I think I needed a little bit different bracket for it to work. But honestly, for not that much money nowadays, I can go to Amazon and buy one of those bolt-on brackets that has the adjustments and just get a different throttle cable, so I'm not dealing with the factory end right here. And that is where the transmission kickdown is going to work from. Got a little bit of adjustment to do to there. I've had it set up at that position before, but you kind of see what the problem is there. It's kind of acting a little funny, so I might have to do a little bit of adjustment on the bottom end there because this cable's been off. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at there. I got the carburetor studs cut down, so got that where I like it. But I'm going to have to order some parts to finish that aspect of it, but that's not a big deal. I want to get all this stuff down here torqued. That's what I'm working on, and then come in and grease those up, make sure everything's greased up real good, torque down, this side's good, get this adjusted. I'm going to show you a trick on the adjustment right here to how to set your camber, because I think I might have touched on it before, but I hadn't really gone over it. Okay, this is what we got. We'll make sure that we're level so that the gauge can move freely, right, as that moves back and forth. If you don't have this level, the needle will kind of stick on the face. So, and then what I want to do is loosen that up, and you can move this back and forth and set your camber. So right now we can see that it is pretty much, it's straight up. It's straight up right now. So I might just lock that into place because that's where I'm going for it. So you can tell 1 degree with that setup. Of course, a bigger dial is going to give you more accuracy, but I can see 1 degree on that quite well. So that's the trick to doing that at home. And I think I'm within a 30-second right there. Is in between the 85 and 5/8, like in between the next line up right there, which is, you know, a 1/16 of an inch. So that's where the other line was, and that's where that was, and it looked a little weird on the camera. So I'm gonna call that good to drive. Okay, my Eastwood internal frame coating, the little Hoo-Yah thing that shoots it in there. I want to use it on my reforming seal because I'm out of internal frame coating. Had a little area I wanted to seal up, but that is the stud style, and that's the stud style. So what I did was, you see the little hose adapter I put on there? Right? I just took this little nozzle out with my needle nose pliers and snipped off just a little bit. Put it on the end there so that it will fit on there, and then now I can use it on these, or I can take that little Hoo-Yah off and use it on the other cans, no matter which setup they have on there. So I use that trick to get down in there because I'm about to brush on my Rust Encapsulator Plus, and I think I got enough in there. It's the end of the day on Saturday, and I got a lot of stuff done today because that fender got on today. Oh, and painted, primed, painted back up in there, so we've got a rust prevention on that. That was a bit of work getting that fender on. I had to I did a little modification here. Had to go get one of them little clip things. I'm brain farting because it's the end of the day, and put that in there because that one broke. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Instead of just clip thingy, well, one of these speed nuts. So I did that with the fender washer on there and got that locked into place. Okay, table's a mess. I'm getting my throttle cable hooked up. I went with the aftermarket one, just the cheap one, because, well, honestly, I just want a throttle cable to work. I don't want to pay 3 or 4 times the price for it, right? It just needs to be a throttle cable, not a gold-plated one. But anyways, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks here. I do have this thing pulled apart. As you can see, I have the guts out, and the end they come with is this right here, and you can take your cable end out, and I put a little piece of tape on there so it doesn't unravel on me. This end here does not work with the Dodge stuff. This is kind of a Dodge specific thing where this won't work. I don't know on Ford, but this does not work my throttle cable. So what I have is just a regular ball, and on the throttle pedal, it has a spot for the ball to go in and slide up, and then there's like a little plastic hoo-yah thing that goes in there and locks it in place, right? On the firewall side, this isn't doing me any good either. Actually, I couldn't get that nut past there. Oh, I can't remember which one it was now. Done forgot. Yeah, it's this one. Right here. But I'm going to put a, don't know what I'm going to do. I got a Spectre one at one time. I think it's Spectre. And it had this little square attachment. This fits the Dodge. And it just had like the little tube thing on the end. And yeah, that don't really fit for what I need either. Don't know exactly what I'll do with that. I may just go ahead and just wedge that in there. I like having a washer on both sides, like a fender washer on both sides of that, instead of just doing it that way. And then I'll have to get that in there and put a little bolt in it, because I don't think I have the little, whatchamacallit, the little piece that goes in there. So this is what I'm working on here. I mean, you can pull it apart and change it, do whatever you need to, and then put it all back together. But that's one of the tricks there. I need to do that because I think this is the piece I'm going to run here. Yeah, that fits. So I'll run that on the throttle end, which I think is that one. I don't know which way it needs to turn. See, it has a little kick out. So I'm going to have to mock it up and kind of see where everything lies before I lock everything down. But yeah, this is just kind of part of it. Oh, let me check something. I need to go to the truck and check something. Okay, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about there. It goes through and comes up, and then you pin that hole so it locks it in place. Yeah, I don't have all my wires hooked up yet, and they want to dangle right there. Can you dangle somewhere else wire? Do you have to dangle in front of the camera? All right. So what I wanted to test is, does that ball even fit through there? Okay, it fits through. It does not fit through. All right, can you see that? So as long as I have something, bolt, whatever, to go in there, that'll work. Right. Oh, and I got a little distance there. There's my square hole. A little tight in here. So, yep, that's what I'm playing around with right now. I'll probably run the throttle, the cable itself through, get it locked in, and then start putting all the pieces together there. But I'll probably just do the fender washer on that. This was the old setup with the stock cable out of the 88 Dodge, and then this piece right here because of the manifold, and you see the ugliness. So that's why I just spent, I don't know, maybe 30 bucks on a throttle cable and a bracket, and you know, it's a gamble if it's good or not. And the quality of all this stuff that I see so far it's exactly what I need, and it looks way better than that cobbled up crap right there that probably won't even work anyway. Yeah, I finally put it on wheel dollies and moved it this way. That way I wasn't just so crunched up in this corner over here. So now I actually got room to walk in between. Okay, finishing up on the throttle cable. I know I didn't show a whole lot about it. It's putting a throttle bracket on. But this is the setup that I am going with. Right there, I have the transmission kick down on the bottom, throttle on top, little roundy. I used an offset. I mounted the other one over there down on the bottom. And so what I'm about to do here is, I got that pulled all the way tight, have a little hoo-yah, gonna mark it. Notice the threads are about mid-ish way. That way if I need to loosen or tighten a little bit, I have that adjustment in there. And that'll be it. That'll be locked down. I did not cut this to fit right there, just because this is not going to be a permanent thing, even though I put a lot of time into it. A lot of the time I'm putting into this is things that it doesn't matter what engine I put in, I can just drop another engine in and be done, right? So this right now has another home. So that's why I'm not going to cut to fit any of the stuff other than this, because I have to. Some of these things you can get, and they're actually the cable goes all the way through and it has a little ferrule on there. This one just happens to not be that style. Yeah, I did that with my Slant 6. I had a bunch of this stuff dangling out because it's like, well, I'm going to put a V8 back down in there, and I did do that. Overall, pretty good. I like it. Except for this connector style right here. It has this little slide piece that is held on by friction only, and that's the only thing that keeps that from sliding off, right? It's not a quality issue, it's just a design issue. I don't like that design. It's wimpy. It's reliant just on that little clip having enough friction not to slide off or vibrate off. I'm going to come up with a solution to that. Like I said, I do not get it over here. I don't like it. If that was, it needs something to keep it from sliding either way. See, it'll hold, it won't go over the ball. It does that just fine. And I've had to, you know, reclamp it and all that stuff, right? So as far as keeping it from going this way and falling off, that's fine. But like I said, it comes off very, very easily. I'll have to think on that and show you what my solution is on there. All right, I got it. Let's get a little close to the part. Don't be weird. So, probably already saw the drill hole. That slides back. What I did, I peened the edge, which is just kind of hammered down on the edge so that it can't come off. You see the hole there, so I can put a cotter pin in there, cotter key, whatever. I can put that in there so that it can't slide backwards, but I can remove the key so I can slide it backwards to get it to pop off, right? Easy peasy. Well, I have the Dremel and these little Chinese drills because all my good drill bits are broke that are that size, that count on my kit right there to drill the Chinese aluminum. And yeah, that worked about as good as it sounds.